welcome to my very first episode of my podcast. I'm so excited. I'm literally nervous and excited, but we're here. All right, so welcome to the first episode of the LaniRose Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Iris. A little bit about me as we are doing these little introductions. So, my name's Iris. I will be your host. I am the salon owner. I am a marketing girly. I am a beauty educator, and most importantly, mama of three. So, I started this podcast because I know what it's like to juggle things around and having dreams and wanting to pursue them. And I've actually wanted to do this for quite a while. So I'm very excited, but also a little nervous, guys. I'm very nervous because it's nerve wracking to sit here and like talk to yourself, but not really because I'm talking to you. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. All right. So, yes, I started this podcast because I knew what it was like to juggle things and wanting to go for that big dream and, running life, going through life and feeling stuck sometimes, right? Feeling stuck, feeling like you don't have anyone back in your corner, even though like I have a very wonderful support team, but sometimes I just want to figure things out on my own. With life, there's always, it feels like a limited amount of time, energy, and let's face it, money, right? So this podcast is going to be for you if you're a hustler, if you're a beauty professional, a mama trying to figure it all out, or just a human being in general, right? Just trying to navigate through life, because who isn't trying to navigate through this life? So in this podcast, I hope that we can grow together, learn together, and move forward together. And in a real way, though, right? I don't want to really try to sugarcoat it. I want to keep it as real as possible with you guys. So go ahead and grab your water, your iced coffee, tea, no judgment, whatever's in your cup, and let's get started. So I am a salon owner. I own LaniRose Spa in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I am a solo salon owner. I feel like it allows me to have free time and make my own schedule and be super creative in my space. I love to help women feel confident and beautiful, and this is like our therapy. So for all my clients, you know who you are. This is our space, this is our space to be ourselves, to laugh, to cry, to vent, to shout out, the wins in life. So this is my space. This is pretty much what I want it to be. It's just a space of, gratitude and feeling blessed. I am a licensed cosmetologist. I am a licensed cosmetology educator. I am a licensed massage therapist. So I've been to school quite a few times. I've actually went to school for fashion as well, believe it or not. I worked in the fashion industry for about 6.5 years before transitioning into the beauty world. Although beauty was kind of my first love, just wasn't my first thing to pursue. But I did eventually go to school for college for fashion, and then eventually transitioned over to the cosmetology world and the beauty world. And I learned a lot along the way, like a lot. And now I'm actually getting into the digital marketing world too, which is a whole beast in itself. So it's been very fun and exciting. And for those that do know me, and news for those that don't know me, so I just love to learn. I literally love to learn. I'm constantly purchasing courses and signing up to classes all the time. Like, I think I put myself in debt just learning. But I love it. I love to learn, and everything that I learn, I love to share. I'm like an open book. I literally just share all this knowledge with everyone. So hopefully along this path, I'll share some of the knowledge with you and help you to pursue certain things in your dreams along the way, and maybe give you some motivation along the way as well. I didn't just wake up one day and decide like this is what I wanted to do. So in life, there's a lot of curveball. There's a lot of turns along the way and roadblocks. But I feel like you should never give up. Never give up on your dreams, even if your dreams change. I feel like we should still pursue them. We should pursue them, see where it goes, and never stop ourselves from pursuing our dreams. And I'm not just talking about dreaming something, I'm talking about actually pursuing and see how far it can get you and see, even if you don't get to that end goal, but learn along the way, you know? So learning and growing and taking that knowledge and maybe, changing directions in course of life and hoping that what you learn and gain from, those roadblocks or the things that come into life that we, you know, put it into something good. And that's pretty much like my story really is like how many times I haven't like just gotten up and was like, you know what, this is what I want to do today, and it could be a fail or it could be a success. Who knows, right? But anyways, so going back then, working jobs, trying to raise my daughter. My oldest daughter is a special needs. She was diagnosed with Rett syndrome. No, not Tourette's, but Rett syndrome. And she's been my big baby. And because of her is because I've been able to, look at life a little bit differently and not take it for granted as much. But it was challenging. It continues to be challenging. Raising a special needs child and having to create a life for her, and my whole life, had to adjust around her. So it's not just being a mom to a kid. It was being a mom to this beautiful child who, had a lot of difficulties, which made it difficult for me in certain aspects. But fast forward to today, have a wonderful team that helps me with her and supports me with her. So that's been wonderful. And, but yeah, so when I went to college the first time, I already had my daughter. I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. So I had my daughter and I was struggling so much. And I figured like, I have to find a career, something that has stability, stability for income and, health insurance and all that good stuff. And, to be able to raise my child and have a comfortable financial life. However, sometimes these dreams and, stability doesn't always stick. Okay. So I decided to go to school for fashion. I took an associate's program in York and I had to drive every day to York. As well as, waking up every morning, getting my daughter ready for school. At that time, I didn't have any nurses or anything, so it was all me. I had to get her up, ready for school, and go to college, get out of college, and work part-time. I was working part-time in the mall and doing that over and over again. And in between that, also, she had experienced some sicknesses, some surgeries that, of course, created, I fell behind. So going to college and having a special needs child, through that process, she would get sick. She would end up in the hospital or she would have surgeries and it would cause delays in my classes. And it was difficult and it was challenging. However, where there's a will, there's a way. I had a passion for, the fashion industry at that time. And I was very dedicated to going to school. Anybody would have given up and been like, you know what, this is too hard. It's taking too much of my time. I'm too stressed, everything. But I had a goal and I said, I'm doing this for my daughter, because she needs me. And I did. I pursued it. And let me tell you that with all the challenges, I still made it into Honor Society. How? I have no idea. But there was a lot of late nights and a lot of tears. Very, very tired days. I've cried on teachers' shoulders. It was very challenging, but I did it. And it was such a moment for me. It was wonderful to graduate and know that I achieved something. But then I started working in this industry and I was loving my job and everything. I ended up with my two other children during this time, and it started becoming a little bit more difficult. And more difficult to leave home, work this 9 to 5 was more like an 8 to 4, and it was challenging. And in the middle of that, now I had two young children that I had to get to daycare. And at the same time, I had this older child who was special needs. I started getting some help with her, but it was still very challenging. There was moments where she even ended up in the hospital for weeks at a time, like weeks at a time, where I would literally have to get my little kids up. I would have to get them ready for daycare, drive to the hospital, drive to work, do my shift, work in front of computers all day, which is very tiring, then go pick up my children from the daycare, then drive all the way to Delaware because my daughter used to go to the hospital in Delaware, which I absolutely love that hospital. Went to Delaware, spent at least a couple hours with her to then drive back home late at night to do it all over again. And I had to do that practically every day for like what when she was there, like 2, 3 weeks. I don't even remember, but it was for a long time. And I would do that like all the time. Like that was exhausting. It was exhausting. But as a mother, we just do what we need to for our children. And looking back at it, it doesn't seem that bad. But in that moment, I was exhausted. But anyway, moving forward. So with that company ended up wanting to, they sold to corporate. And obviously, when it comes to corporate, they like to reduce certain departments. And eventually, they wanted to shut us down. So there was very few options for us at that shutdown. And at that time, after I had my son too, I felt like I was going through postpartum. I feel like I was so sad and depressed all the time. I literally would cry to work, and no one probably knew this. In case those that are listening that worked with me at that time, I used to cry to work. I was so sad being there. I did not want to be there anymore. So I gave it up, gave my 2 weeks notice, and I ended up pursuing cosmetology. I decided I wanted to go to school and be a cosmetologist. I actually really liked makeup. I didn't think I was going to like hair, but I figured why not? Just go for it. So I did. I ended up leaving that job. I gave up my severance package for when they shut down. I literally just shifted career, like just shifted it. I had a great support at the time. So, I am with, not was with, the father of my 2 little ones. And he was such a great support. So I was able to go back to school. Now, I think that's one of the hardest things in life is finding that good support that will allow you to pursue your dreams. So shout out to him for allowing me to pursue my dream and continuing to pursue my dream. But in that time, so I decided to switch careers, went to school for cosmetology. Apparently, it just clicked with me. It was good. So they had offered me a job at the school also to teach. So I took my educator's license as soon as I graduated and got my license for cosmetology. I ended up getting my educator's license and was working for them part-time, subbing here and there. And then all of a sudden, fast forward and then COVID hits, right? And who was not affected by COVID? Except the nurses. Shout out to all the medical teams out there and everyone that worked through COVID. You guys were by far the superstars. But during COVID, we lost a lot. And fast forward then from there, I ended up working at different salons. Then I ended up opening my own salon, which is the one we're in now. But yeah, lots of challenges and lots of tears and lots of emotions along the way to get here. So for those wanting to pursue a dream, don't just look at someone's, mid or end result, because the journey to get there is never easy, never easy. So with this podcast is pretty much my self-therapy. I just needed a space for myself, a space to share my journey and hopefully motivate those who want to start a journey or in the middle of their journey and feel like they're alone or they don't know what direction to take. So that to me is something I love to do. I love to inspire and I love to teach. So hopefully this space can be ours where we can share and talk about the struggles, but also talk about the beautiful journey, to get to where we would love to be. I feel like I'm always growing every day. I'm always growing, experiencing. This journey has been so wonderful. And I feel like I just want to share and help and inspire those along the way. Because there's days that, sometimes you feel invisible. You don't feel seen. Um, you know, being in business is such a joy, but it also sucks. I'm going to be honest. It's a sucky job because you do everything yourself. You don't just show up, do the work, and get paid and go. There's so much to it. So much to owning a business that I was not prepared for. I was not prepared for this journey, but I took it anyway and said, I will learn along the way. And what I learn, I can share with others. So I can share with others and help them to pursue their dreams too. So I want this to be a safe place, but I also want it to be a very honest place. I want to celebrate the wins, big or small. So if you have any wins you'd like to share and you'd like to share your story, I'm here for all of that. So please feel free to share your stories with me, and we can talk it through and work through it together, and maybe even have others in the business or that are able to provide us with some information and help along the way. During this space in this podcast, I would like to share my journey too, with my clients. I want to share um, some of the joys with my clients. I would like to, show that it's such a fun environment when you get to know people, and, your clients no longer become clients. They almost become like family to you. So it's been a beautiful growth of the LaniRose family here. So I'm very blessed about that. Um, and most importantly, I just want to inspire. I just want to inspire someone who's scared to take that next step. And I want you to take that next step, whatever that path may be. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the beauty industry, but any path that you like to pursue, I want to inspire and motivate you to take that step. So some of the things I'd like to cover as well, I know it's a lot for a first episode. It's like a get to know me, but going forward, I want to get to know you. And so some of the things that I want to go through and cover in the following episodes would be just some tips, some ideas, stuff to learn and grow through in the beauty industry, if that's something you would be into. Also just business in general, to grow and pursue in business, and self-growth. I think that will be my biggest one, is self-growth, self-motivation, self-care, self-improvement, everything self-wise. I mean, we can't help others unless we help ourselves, right? So I want to be there to get you there, to support you in whatever that may be. That would be like my biggest thing. And show some behind the scenes also. I would like to show some of the behind the scenes. Again, some moments with my clients, things and how LaniRose has come to be. And hopefully together we can see where the future goes with LaniRose Spa and with this podcast, with the LaniRose Lounge podcast too. So I'm excited to see where this is going to go. It's an exciting new journey because, again, this podcast is going to be all about, going out there, taking that step and doing a journey, like following our dreams and, reaching our goals. So this was my next one. I've thought about this for quite a long time. Some of my clients even know we've always talked about doing a podcast because there's some crazy stuff that's said in this room. And then we go back and we're like, what the hell did we say? I have no idea. We should have recorded that, So there's been tons of moments like that. So this idea of a podcast grew with my clients as well. So we grew together. So I was inspired by my, LaniRose family. So this is exciting. It's exciting and nervous, like I said. I'm probably rambling on. I don't mean to, but it's my first one, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me until I get my groove, my vibe, And also in this podcast, we're going to do some mindset boost too. So again, this is all about you. I mean, this is my space where I get to share and do what I love, but most importantly for you. Another thing in this podcast that I would like to do would be to invite some guests. I know I'm just starting out here. This is brand new. However, I wanted to be open. I want to be open for any guests, any other business professionals out there that would like to share their stories and be heard. And, so we can see you, and see you, the real you. That would be a beautiful thing. So if there's anyone that would love to be a guest on the show, you're welcome to email me. Email me, DM me, text me. Uh, yeah, let's do something together. We'll see. I would really love to get other perspectives as well, not just mine, and guests too, guests that would like to share. I have a lot of beautiful guests. I have a lot of beautiful clients. Um, I have a lot of beautiful clients that have wonderful stories to share, very inspirational, very motivational. And I feel like they need to be seen and heard too. They need to have their moment. And I would love to have them come on. So we'll see. We'll see who I can get on. A little pursuing. But yeah, so I would just like it to be fun, and a fun vibe here. I just want it to be a fun vibe. Um, but yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm scared. I'm scared, guys. I'm really scared, but I'm excited, more excited. And you don't know what there is on the other side of fear, right? Fear stops us. Fear literally stops us from living. So I'm doing this with fear, and I want to see what's on the other side of this. Okay, we'll see where this goes. Um, Before I knock my water bottle down, we'll see where this goes. And I hope that you are going to be along for the ride with me. I will share more stories about the journey and my life. So I'll share more about that. And even for those mamas struggling out there, being a mama, being a single mama, being a mama of a special needs, I can relate. I got you. I can definitely relate to that. So I know exactly what that feels like. I'm here for you. So you can reach out. I love connecting with people. So with that, we're going to end this first episode uh, on that note that I'm here for you. I'm cheering you on. And this is going to be an exciting journey. And I look forward to seeing where this is going to go. I hope that it grows in such a beautiful way, an inspiring way. And I hope it motivates you. And I hope that we're going to grow together. Um, and with that, I would say thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit follow and subscribe so you know when the next episode is going to uh, drop. Um, I hope to do these weekly, and eventually I will get into a nice schedule, and then we'll be on track, right? Because I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going with the flow, right? Like I said at the beginning, we have to chase these goals and these dreams and just do it. And I'm that person. I'm that person that I have a goal and dream. I will start it. I'll see. May not finish all the time because maybe halfway through I might find like that's not where my passion lies. And then there's other ones like my spa where I didn't realize I was going to end up having my own spa, but here I am, right? And now starting a podcast, and we'll see where this goes. So in that, I want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. And I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye.